Ships in a port lie quietly. The sun breaks gently over them. They seem asleep. A ship tied to the shore is a dormant thing. She's built for the open water, and without it she has no real existence, no sense of purpose, no movement, to be closely controlled by the crisp voices of command.
All hands heave to and trace up. The smoking lamp is lit in all authorized spaces. Now, reveille.
For seamen, each new day in port is a time of continuing preparation, a time of planning for the return to the sea. When these ships cut their ties to the land, their every movement will be dependent on their own communications. And that's a special challenge to every communications officer aboard. Two of those officers are new in their jobs. Assigned to this destroyer escort is Ensign Don Elliott.
Hey, come on, what do you say? You want to eat?
A few minutes from now.
Ensign Elliott knows his ship. He's been aboard for a year, but he's just been appointed communications officer. Across the harbor, on another kind of ship that writers are fond of calling a floating city, is another junior officer whose primary duty concern is communications.
See you, Charles, Jeff.
Okay.
Ensign Jeff Carter is the new signal officer, just one of 7 communications officers aboard. Both men are in communications. Their work and their responsibilities, however, are as different as the ships on which they serve. On a destroyer, the junior officer accepts full responsibility for communications. He stands alone. On an aircraft carrier, the junior officer is one member of an officer team. Other situations will have special characteristics, as each ship has its own peculiarities. But the destroyer and the carrier officer between them encounter the whole range of shipboard communications duties.
All hands to quarters for muster, inspection, and instruction.
OC Division, attention to quarters. Listen up for muster. Rankin. Ferguson.
The OC Division, the signalmen and radio men who make communications work. Aboard a destroyer, the communications officer is their division officer, just one of his duties.
Spears. Very well. The only big work projects we have prior to getting underway next week are mainly our antennas. We have to ensure that all our antennas are cleaned, especially the insulators, make sure that they're measured. There's a few topside areas that we're going to have to get painted prior to getting underway next week. I don't see any big problems, so everything should be ship-shape when we get underway. Stand at ease until a division officer returns from officer's call. OC Division, attention to quarters. Good morning, sir. Muster's been taken. All men are present and accounted for, sir.
Very well. Chief's already gone over here what has to be done for upcoming deployment. Just like to emphasize the point that during this...
Ensign Don Elliott is responsible for people as well as equipment. And the people are the harder to maintain of the two. It's his job to be sure they're properly trained, organized, directed, and motivated. That's quite a responsibility for the only communications officer aboard.
Before it gets passed on to the other men, they're on watch right now. That's all I have, Chief.
Very well. OC Division, post.
Aboard the carrier, Jeff Carter has many of the same responsibilities.
Good morning, sir. CS Division Off President Conifer, sir.
Very well. Parade rest.
Division, parade, rest.
Morning, men. This morning I'd like to talk about special requests.
Ensign Carter is a division officer, too. One of the advantages that goes with being signal officer. No two men handle this job quite the same way. Jeff sees his biggest challenge as motivating people, helping each man feel his job is important, even if he's just a messenger.
That you cooperate with your immediate supervisor, and it's equally as important for you supervisors to stop and consider carefully when you sign a chit, because it'll be concurred with 99% of the time. That's all.
Division, post.
The working day begins for radio men aboard the carrier.
Don? How you doing? What can you, Don? Oh, not much.
They must tune their many transmitters and receivers, following a frequency plan prepared by the senior communications officer. It tells them which frequency to put up, on which channel, of which equipment. As many as 60 receiving and transmitting frequencies may be needed when a carrier is to sail as part of a task force with an admiral and an air group aboard.
Okay, what do you got, Liver?
I'm bringing up the new ship's coordination frequency for the bridge here.
Okay, is there anything else you want me to do?
Yeah, would you check it down there, please?
Okay.
Ensign Carter is just one of the communications officers supervising all this.
Yes, sir. If anything else, Allison has.
Thank you.
Aboard the DE, Ensign Elliott is personally responsible for the frequency plan and for all communications.
Plan right now, and the captain had mentioned something about having a screen common going on the bridge instead of CIC. Would it be any problem?
No, sir. All I have to do is unpatch it from combat and put it on RHS number 5 on the bridge, sir.
Okay, then I'll tell the captain he can have it.
Yes, sir. No problem.
I'm going to listen to the broadcast frequencies right now.
Everything here, of course, is on a much smaller scale with far less equipment.
You're not going to put tug control in status port, are you?
No, sir.
An ensign or JG is the only communications officer.
Are we missing any broadcast numbers?
No,
A carrier may have 8.
Having any trouble bringing up the comm say?
No, sir. I'm saying those right now.
Are you holding the sync okay in the broadcast?
Yes, sir.